Riba Al Naseea is a combination of Riba Al Fadl and Riba Al Naseea, the riba of increase and the riba of delay. If you put them together, you end up with Riba Al Naseea. This is the category that is agreed upon its prohibition. Very simple definition of Riba Al Naseea, as you see here, the premium that must be paid by the borrower to the lender, along with the principal amount, either as a condition for the loan or otherwise for an extension of its maturity. Okay, very simple example. You borrowed $10,000 from Bank of America. You know from day one that those $10,000 will not be paid back 10,000. You have to pay them back $11,000. Why there is riba al-fadl here? Because you take 10,000 and you pay it back 11,000. So there is a cost plus. There is an increase. Why it is riba al-naseea? Okay, riba of delay, because there is a time gap. You take the money today and you pay it back after a while. When you put those two different components together, you end up with riba al naseea. This is actually the most severe and the most prohibited kind of riba. You will be surprised that the vast majority of the interest-bearing transactions in the US belong to this category. Okay, the vast majority of the interest-bearing transactions in the US belong to this category. Problem here is that how to interpret those contemporary transactions to find out whether or not there is Riba Al Naseea involved in them. As I mentioned here in the slide, Riba Al Naseea has two different scenarios, either as a condition for the loan. Condition for the loan, like when you take $10,000 with a very clear stipulation from the beginning. If you commit to pay 2 or 3% APR, here is the money. If not, then no money for you. That is called the condition for the loan. Okay, which means that riba is unavoidable in this scenario. Or otherwise, for an extension of its maturity. Like you take, for example, $10,000 from now until the end of 2020. If you successfully pay $10,000 back to the lender by the end of 2020, no consequence. If and only if you delay your payment after that, you cannot pay in full before the end of this year, then there will be some consequences. Regardless of how much you have to pay more, that will be counted as riba al naseea.